And it says we are live. It's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. It's time for GotBot Goes Live. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit the notification bell. Helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. If, for some reason, the stream drops, don't go away. I will end it here and I will pick it up immediately with a new one. And we'll pick up right where we leave off. We've had to do part 1 and part 2 before. Fingers crossed we won't have to. But just in case, fear not, despair not, we will certainly be back to make sure that we cover all the news, that we do trivia, and that we do this week's unboxing, but it's also a bit of an unveiling, so to speak. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Hope you guys are having a great week. My week has been all over the map, and I'm kind of facing like a big decision right now, but we're going to forget about that because that's my business, not yours, and we're going to focus on the bots. We have a number of things that have released this week in numerous countries that we'll kind of touch on and talk about a little bit. We have some new things from DNA Design, from threezero, from Blokees. We are going to do trivia, and like I said, we're going to do this week's unboxing. Let's check in with you guys before we get going. Hey, Mike. Hey, Waspinator. Hey, Big M. BS Prime. Ash. Hey, Master Fire. Caldeo says, a little thing I realized the TV magazine you brought up before, thinking it was for Cyberworld. It was actually for Transformers Wilds, not Cyberworld. I have no idea what you're talking about. But what? That's not really... I don't know what you're talking about, Keldeo. I'm sorry, I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Hi, but like what I brought up before was for Cyberworld. I haven't brought up anything about any fiction for Wild Thing or Wild. What's it called? Wild King, because I didn't know anything about Wild King until now. So I'm not sure what you're referring to there, my friend. Who's getting a second 86 Optimus Prime for the DNA design kit? I mean, no. That would be right now. I know that there's a couple of places that have him like for pre-order again, and the price has gone up. So 140 Canadian plus tax to get a Megatron arm. No. But I mean, if you can get it for a price that suits you, yeah, sure, why not? Hey, BS Prime. What? I will be on Transformers Bittersea Instagram. I don't know. Okay. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything, but okay. I got Cybertron long rack at a convention. Cool. Good for you, my man. Good for you. Okay. How about we get into the news? Because you guys are touching on a bunch of stuff and you're getting ahead of me. And we're going to start with this. Boom. So this is, of course, a picture of the HasLab Omega Prime. We kind of touched on some of this last week, and I'm not going to really belabor it here other than to say he's a big lad. He's a bit bigger than kind of mainline combiners when he's all put together. Like to the head, he's pretty much a combiner size, but with the backpack and the little wing pieces coming up, he's a little bit bigger. I'd say probably 14 inches in height. I'd say about the height of, say, Unique Toys Warlord, which is their version of Predaking. So just ever so slightly taller. But I think that that's a good size. I think that looking at him here with all of these other, I guess, like RID 2001 offerings, like, I feel like he fits in the way he should fit in. Maybe I'm wrong, because in all, or RID 2001. Maybe I'm wrong, because to be perfectly fair, I don't know that scale perfectly well. But this feels right to me. Make of that what you will. As we go up here, I'll note this, threezero, they showed off their Dirge. It is obviously an adaptation of their Starscream. made just a little bit different, of course, because Dirge is, well, a cone head. So the wings are now removed from the back, kind of, and down on the legs. But I think that this is a good-looking Dirge, though I will admit that I do feel like the positioning of the wings is a little bit stylized. That said, I think it works fine, especially since you're looking for hyper articulation for the guy, because he doesn't need to transform, right? He doesn't actually become a plane. This is the M Deluxe, by the way. So this is the one that's probably about Voyager size. And I'm going to call it affordable. I think here in Canada, I think the M Deluxes go for about $70, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know, 50 maybe in the US is kind of where I'm thinking. I could be wrong about that, but, maybe I'm not wrong about that. I think 50 would be about right for the US. I think it looks really good. I mean, I'm not going into all of the details because it's a Dirge, but I think you get the idea. I think it's a respectable take on Dirge in his robot mode for sure. Let's see. Studio Series Leader Dark of the Moon Shockwave out at US retail. Yes, I have heard that as well. I have not heard of that in Canada yet. We're going to go back to that DNA design. There's also a listing for Earthspark, Smash Changers, Jawbreaker, and Twitch. If you don't know what a Smash Changer is, you take it and you basically smash it down and it transforms. You might have to smash it down a couple of times. I have seen these and all I can think is, what parent would want you to smash that on something? Like, I wouldn't want something like that smashed on my furniture. What are you going to smash it on? The floor? I guess you could smash it on the floor. So, I don't know. If you're into Smash Changers, cool, I guess, if that's your thing. And TFCon Toronto, July 11th to the 13th this year. First guest announced that I know of is Bumper Robinson. Of course, if you don't know Bumper, watch Transformers Animated because he's the voice of Bumblebee, Blitzwing, and yes, indeed, Animated Blackout. So he'll be going to TFCon Toronto. DNA Design. This is the first of a couple of DNA Design kits. I'm actually going to go into this one because I actually do want to kind of show this. So I saw this and I was like, okay, so this is a kit intended for the MPG 09, I want to say, Super Ginrai. And I looked at this and I was like, this is the whole kit. So there's 4 pairs of hands, 2 that are completely blue, if you want all blue hands, and 2 that are blue with like red fingers, which would be more animation accurate. But then you notice the arm pieces, and I'm like, I think those arm pieces are going to be the star of this. But let's go through and see what we see. And I was like, okay, so alternate hands, that's cool. You can see the way he's holding his blaster there. Yeah, okay, that's neat. You can give him the all blue hands, or you can give him the blue and the red hands. That's up to you. And then I saw this, and I was like, original and upgrade kit. And I'm like, I don't see a difference between the top and the bottom. And I didn't at first. So I was like, okay, maybe we'll go through. And then I got here. And I was like, oh, I do see an ever so slight difference. If you notice, the red upper part of that arm on the top is stock. Here you can see it's slightly collapsed at the elbow. So if you want, I guess, the arm pieces that are part of the trailer technically to be a little bit lower, then get this kit. This is one of those cases where I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, you canceled the Matrix Buster to go with Big Convoy. I don't know why you're making this. I mean, get it if you want it, but I don't see the added value here. I really don't. Why? So the arms can collapse maybe an inch, a few centimeters. I guess the different hands are neat, I suppose. But it looks like you'd have to pull out the hands that are there and then plug these in. I don't know about you. I'm not into always changing my hands. Maybe you are. Maybe you are. Maybe you think this is a great kit. But to me, I feel like there's not enough added value here for it to be something that speaks to me. Maybe it does speak to you. So let's go there, and I'm going to go back to here. But before we kind of go on, I'm going to check in with you guys a little bit to see what you guys are saying and what I have missed. Let's see. By the way, GotBot, we are doing the Robosen reveal on the 27th, I believe. Oh, okay. Are you talking about the Bumblebee or are you talking about the Devastator? I mean, I don't know what you're doing. I'm not really a Robosen guy. I don't respect who they do business with, so I really don't respect the company. And I'm not really that interested or amazed by them. I've lost a lot of respect for that company, like a lot of respect. Same with Toy Hacks. I don't respect the company because I don't like the people that they choose to do business with. But to each their own, I guess. But for anybody interested, BS Prime just said that on the 27th they're doing a Robosen reveal. It will be on Transformers Bitter C Instagram account. Okay. I got Cybertron Longmark. I already saw that. I missed your first one there, BS Prime. My mistake, buddy. Transformers Wilds is what Hasbro should be doing instead of Cyberworld. I don't know about that. I don't think either of it should be done, but that's just me. Hey, input buddy. Hey, Matthew. If I didn't say it earlier. Let's see. Hey, Bing Bong. As we go down here a little bit. And again, if I'm skipping over stuff, guys, I apologize. Well, a gap like that might be a pet peeve, I guess, but is a pet peeve enough to spend the cost of what a DNA design upgrade kit tends to go for? Because they're not cheap kits. It just, is it really that much of a gap? Like, I feel like that's nitpicking to the degree, like, it's almost preposterous. I get to each their own. Get it if you want to get it, but like, I don't know. I'm not seeing it, man. I'm not feeling it. At least the Wilds toys have elbows compared to a lot of the Cyberworld toys. That's true. What? Why can't I remember those birthdays? I have no idea what you're talking about. But I hope you remember whatever birthday you're hoping to remember, my friend. Piece of good news. It looks like Gary Chalk is recovering from lymphoma. It looks like things are going well. He still has some chemo to do, but the update was that I wouldn't say he's out of the woods, but certainly it looks like things are going in the right direction, and that's wonderful, wonderful news. In a world where we don't get enough good news, I think that's really, really great news for the beloved voice of Optimus Primal, as well for some people, Optimus Prime. This is a number of, we've seen these like pins and this sort of stuff before. Like here's a Grimlock one. I can't remember the company that makes it. I'm not really into this. It's coins and pins and that sort of stuff. I mean, to each their own, I suppose. The Grimlock is neat. It's cool. But like I'm not blown away by a lot of this. Here is a Soundwave one if you're into it, like a little pin coin thing. You notice I didn't even say the name of the company because like I'm not interested in this enough. It's a nice like design. Like it certainly looks well lifted from the cartoon for Starscream here. I feel like Starscream is pretty good. I feel like Grimlock's pretty good. I feel like the horns, crest, whatever you want to call it, on Soundwave is a bit big, high up. So I don't know. If you're into that, cool, I guess. Age of the Primes, Wave 1 Deluxes out at US. I've seen a lot of people posting the Deluxes. I know that the Wasp or Waspinator or Fugitive Waspinator, I know that at least has released in Canada, though I haven't seen it. I know it's been spotted in Ontario. So again, I know in the US, I know in Canada, and I think I saw in Australia that the Deluxes are starting to eke their way out, as are the Studio Series versions of what they're calling A-level, which is, I want to say, the Constructicons and the Devastation Optimus Prime. They're also out in the US. The Studio Series Voyagers are out in the US. The Swappables, whatever you want to call them. I think they're called Swappables. Is that what they're called? Swapticons. I'm sorry, Swapticons. They're out in the US. They're also out here. They're on the shelves here, and I saw them, and I was like, and here they're $25 for that like pack of 5. And I'm like, $25 for that? $5 for like, there's 5 in there, so it works out to be $5 each. But I don't think it's worth $5. I think it's worth 25 cents. Like you would get it out of a, you remember those like candy machines? You put the 25 cents in and you get the little plastic thing come out and it have some cheapy little toy in it. I feel like that's where these Swapticons belong. In one of those like vending machines. Maybe that's just me. Then this might be what BS Prime was talking about, because we've had a tease for a Bumblebee, possibly a transforming one, which is what I think he's probably talking about. But we also have what looks to be line work for essentially Devastator. And it looks like Devastator is going to be I'm going to say motorized skeleton is the only thing I can really think to say, with Constructicons to go on. Will the Constructicons each individually be motorized, articulated? I don't know. I really don't know, but time will tell, I guess, because it's obviously like an early kind of design stage yet. Turtle T Transformers plushes found at retail. So like there's Little Optimus. We talked about these and I said they're kind of cute for what they are. They're very roundy, they're very roundy for what they are. I don't know, they're sweet. But like, again, very niche. And then we get to Wild King, which I guess is supposed to be like a Wild Kingdom, or what you guys are calling Wilds. And I gotta laugh at this. So I first saw this and I was like, I don't know what to think of these guys. So we have the giraffe. The giraffe's name is Lightlong. We have the Triceratops. The Triceratops, which is I think the lad in the middle. No, the Triceratops is the green lad. The green lad is Leafback. The mammoth, which is the white and blue lad, he is Hydrophant. And I love this, the T-Rex, the little like red and browny T-Rex, he is Captain Vodka. Like, don't know where Captain Vodka. And then the arms and the legs can come off of Optimus and Megatron, and these guys can attach, and they become like Energy Master Optimus Prime and Energy Master Megatron. So we'll actually look at the images here. And like I saw it, and I was like, okay, maybe. And I saw this and I was like, I don't know about that. Now there are knees, there are elbows. I don't know if when you put on the I call them limb bots for lack of a better word. I don't know if you still have an elbow then. I know the stock Optimus arm does, for example. Same with Megatron, but like I don't know if the Dino arm that's on him there has an elbow or not. You can take off both legs at the knee. And even with these on, I think you retain the knee. What is cool is you'll notice, pardon me, you'll notice he has blue shoes. Those blue shoes are actually his lower legs. So I find that pretty good. Wow. My first water went down the wrong pipe. Pardon me. You'll also notice on Megatron's chest and Optimus's, there's like 4 leaves. So when you attach them, I guess you put the leaf pieces on the chest. And you might say, where do those leaf pieces go? Well, here with what's this guy's name? Lightlong. You'll notice that the leaf goes on the chest. It seems to me like for the most part, the core body, head, upper arms, thighs are pretty much the same on all 4 of these. The head on the shoulder, that's different depending on if it's a mammoth or a dino or a giraffe, as are the lower legs. Like these are obviously giraffe legs on the arms and the lower legs. They would be different for the dino. They would be different for the Triceratops. They would be different for the mammoth. Of course, we'll see that as we go through now. This is a rough looking giraffe though, brother. I'm not going to lie. Cool looking robot. Nifty little robot, but rough looking giraffe. I don't know. It's like, I guess this is arm mode. Like, is that good? I don't know. Like, here's the mammoth. I think the mammoth is more successful than the giraffe in mammoth mode. He looks pretty cool. Looks very icy. I assume that these are supposed to be related to like earth, fire, or earth, sun, fire, and water, or like I think they're supposed to be like some sort of connection to the earth elements or something. This is the one that I'm pretty sure is Captain Vodka. So he's obviously my favorite. I don't even like vodka. He's a little bit different because he does have dino legs, but you'll notice he has a head on one shoulder and a tail on the other. I mean, okay, dino, honestly. Okay, Dino. I think the giraffe is probably the roughest looking one. And the Triceratops is all right. Very much like the mammoth, right? Again, tail on one shoulder, head on the other. I don't hate these, but I do feel like, and it's not even that they're bad, but like, am I going to go hunting for this? Absolutely not. 100% no, not going hunting for this at all. I don't like the yellow windows either. I wish they were blue or something. I'm not digging the yellow windows, but it's an okay Optimus. I just see this and I think to myself, and it's a weird truck, but I see this and I think to myself, it's okay. It's niche. I feel like this is probably where younger kids should start before they go on to like mainline collecting. I feel like this is meant for that. It's I don't know. I don't hate it, but I don't think I would be a huge fan of the fiction for this. I feel like it'd be a little too out there. I'm not maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it would be great because I mean I ended up liking Transformers Go. I wasn't sure about that. And I thought Transformers Go and like X Prime stuff was great. I thought that was a dandy little show. I'm not looking that forward to the YouTube series for Cyber World. I think it's just gonna be like a bunch of little goofy shorts. And I feel like this is going to be goofy in the end, but I feel like the potential is here for this to be something cool. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what comes of it, I suppose. We're going to go up here again. We're going to go back here. Actually, let's get the Wild King stuff kind of out of the way. A few more images here with the Energon Optimus, like up close and stuff, like kind of in hand. I don't know, like I look at it and I'm like, I don't think it's for me, but I respect it if it's for you because I'm not digging the aesthetic, but I don't think there's anything wrong with them, if that makes sense. Like I don't think it's for me, but at the same time, like I think that the way that this starts transform looks cool. I think the robot looks all right. I don't think that leaving his legs straight like this instead of bending them a little bit does him any favors, but to each their own. I do like the axe, a la Transformers Animated, for example. Like, guys, bend the knees, I'm just saying. The Optimus looks cool. The head looks cool. I don't like the yellow, but I respect it. The animals are pretty large, but I mean, I think you would expect that as well. I do like the metallic look on these leaves. It's the only thing I can think of to call it. Obviously, these are going to parts form to a degree. So if you don't like parts forming, these will not be for you. I get vibes of like power core combiners from this. I feel like if I reviewed it, I would end up scoring these very average, like 7, 8, something like that. The Megatron is a very bare bones tank. But I don't hate the Megatron. I think it looks. Oh, I gotta plug that in. Sorry that went dark, guys. I thought that I had things plugged in, and I do not have things plugged in. Hopefully, what is this on? My battery is way down. Boo earns. Yeah, not like 19, but it is plugged in now. Sorry about that. I thought it was plugged in before. It's plugged in now. Hopefully that'll come back. I apologize for things just getting dark, but I think the Megatron looks all right. I love the head sculpt in the face. I really, really think they nailed a nice Megatron face. I really do. The fusion cannon's weird. I don't know how I feel about that. And the robot's fine. Again, like the dude turns into a tank, very evergreeny, but like I'm not angry about it. I like the T-Rex. I think he's a cool little lad. I don't know. I'm very middle of the road on this. There's things I like about it and things I don't like about it. That's what I would say. I'm not going to go into that one because we've already sort of seen it. I'll show this. Flame Toy showed off a Farai RC. She is the Black Deco of RC. And the Black Deco, therefore, RC is based on her Combiner Hunters iteration. It's a cool look. Very different for our RC, but it's like RC Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? Like, she's gone from Walter White, and this is her as Heisenberg, right? That's kind of the way I see it. I'm going to show this. We will go back down. So Age of the Primes. I just want to go down here. You'll notice that I had my Skybite held in hand when I did the thumbnail. You can see the two of them comparison side to side here. The new one is definitely a little bit shorter than the one before, but in terms of mass, I don't think it's going to be any smaller. If anything, I think it could be denser. Um, I do prefer the arms on the new one compared to the old one. And I do prefer the like knee down on the new one to the old one, and the way the chest is done. So I got the old one because I wanted a Skybite, but I do think the new one is going to be better. I really do. The fin on the head though is gigantic on the new one. Not sure how I feel about that, but like comparatively, yeah. I mean, the old one's okay. The old one's cute, but I still think the new one's going to beat it. Time will tell when I actually do the review when that time comes. And we're going to go up a little bit to see Heat Wave as well, which I'm kind of just down here. And this, of course, is the same mold as Bulkhead. I think it works really, really nice for Heat Wave. I'm not even slightly angry about this. I like it for Heat Wave. He's a bit shorter, but we already know that he's bulkier because of that Bulkhead mold. And I've said before that it is an actual true blue Voyager. This is a case of the mass is built into the body and into the heft rather than the height. And you can see him there next to Nemesis Prime as well as Skybite. And you know what? Like for Heatwave, I think it's about right. You know, I'm in for Heatwave. I'm in for Chase. You know, I like the rescue bots. I think they're pretty cool. For a Heatwave, this is kind of what I expected. Maybe a little bulky in the tummy area, but overall, yeah, look at this. I'm like, yeah, that seems about right for Heatwave. I'm cool with this for Heatwave. Now, going down, we have more of the Robosen Devastator images. This is what I was talking about. You look at the lower legs. Like, it looks like it's all there, but you don't have the actual Constructicons on. It looks like you have to, I guess, attach them yourself is the only thing that I can think of. Like, I think the arm is going to be attached to the main robot, and I think you'll just put tractor version of Scavenger onto the arm. Like, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, is the thing. Right? Bone Crusher, same thing. I guess Long Haul goes. I don't know, man. I understand the limbs. I'm not sure where Hulk and Long Haul kind of fit on this. See, like, it's a lot like we've been doing with the Legacy lads, right? Here's a leg. Here we have Scrapper in his tractor mode. You're going to put it on the leg. That's the only thing I could see to really do. I don't know. I'm interested to see how this kind of comes together because I feel like this is real ambitious. I also feel like the price for this is going to be in the multiple thousands. I'll be shocked if it's not. The Retro B and Gears, they are out in the US. Have not heard of them released in Canada yet, but they are out already in the United States. And I thought I had something here. Hold on. Was I wrong about that? Maybe I was wrong about that. We had Drillhorn. Drillhorn, of course, is the strategist. He's the guy, one of the smarter members of the Lyle Kaiser team. And, like, again, I look at Drillhorn here. Part of the Lyle Kaiser team he's the strategist. He's not a big fan of change. Boy, does that tank look like a drill tank. It looks like it should, for sure. And then what a bulky robot. Look how small the thigh is and how big the lower leg is. My fear is, if you look at the leg, like it's not fully bent, I don't know if this guy can sit down. That being said, I have been skeptical in the past of articulation limits with the HasLab offerings, and they've really kind of blown it out of the water for the articulation, much more than I thought that they would. By the way, I'll note this now too, since we're here. We have passed now the 18,000 mark, so all of the tiers are unlocked. The full value of Lyle Kaiser now is unlocked. Last I checked, we were teetering on 19,000 backers. You'll notice that this guy's holding a spear. Obviously, that is going to be intended to be part of the Chuck. That's also unlocked. Then we get to Deathcobra. It has not been confirmed that Deathcobra will have his own stand. It has also not been confirmed that he will have part of the spear. What has been confirmed is that he does have thigh articulation, thigh swivel. Evan Brooks confirmed that himself when asked about it because the pictures seem to indicate that Deathcobra wouldn't have a thigh swivel. And Evan Brooks said, yeah, no, we built that in. He does, in fact, have a thigh swivel. This looks right. This looks accurate. This looks correct. But it looks awful bulky. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure that Lyle Kaiser combined is where this guy's going to shine. I'll say that much for sure. Let's just check in with you guys a little bit before I kind of go up there some more because I know I've been missing some stuff. Let's see. A gap like that on a high-end masterpiece would be eye-catching in a bad way. I agree. So maybe Takara and Hasbro should actually make the product right instead of telling people to go and buy something else on top of it. That would be my argument there. Wiles at least looks like goofy fun. Star World just looks lazy. You know what, Francis? Honestly, I think that's a good way to describe it. It does look like goofy fun, but it does look goofy. It might be better than Cyber World. You're probably right. At least the Wiles toys have elbows. Yes, you're right. I saw everyone posting, look who's back and feeling prime on Twitter, celebrating the news on Gary Chalk. I was talking to Master Fire about that. Okay. That part of the whole news gig, got to talk about the stuff you don't find interesting. Absolutely, you do. I mean, I bring it up, but and I try to be as objective as I can with it, but some of it I'm just like, this is just bad, man. Some of it I even understand, like, it's not for me, but I respect. Like the Wild King, like, I'm not remotely interested in it. If I ever get to review it, cool. But I'm not going to hunt it down. If you want to, though, I respect that because I do see the potential there. Transaran found some Voyagers at GameStop, right? So they are eking out there. I'll be checking my Walmart and Target this weekend. Good luck. I hope you find something. SS Optimus Primal is on sale at Target. I mean, get it if it's on sale. It's tremendous. It's a tremendous mold. I got Solus Prime, says Caldeo. Speaking of DNA, what's sad about their Matrix Buster kit, I had 5 on pre-order.